From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Chargers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Herbert. He's got it to Williams. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, they picked up the first down, but I'm just going to say I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot. And it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
Well, it wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Khalid Kareem showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big play there on the catch and run.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables. Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll let one go deep for Higgins. He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Herbert off of play action. Out to his left. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He's to the 10. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 5. Forced out to his left. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it here. That is caught. It's Williams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain that time for the Chargers. So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball.
Herbert has it knocked free.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down near the 5. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second and 8 coming up. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
They went with the dime look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
Now, I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Charger drive about to get going. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You think about the strong safety position, you know, they're the more bulkier guys in the free safety, but that time great athleticism to hustle in and break up that play. On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2nd and 8. From the 50, here's Herbert. And that's into the hands of Eckler. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
15's the mic. 15's the mic. I got 15. Watch the slant.
Herbert now. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Able to shake, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. A handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball.
Touchdown, L.A. I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And that's complete to McKenzie. He finds some open field here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Back to throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go.
And I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Another try for Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert to throw. And he'll be taken down by Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Cincinnati, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.